Hi children, welcome back to this video. How does it go without a motivational quote? Because of that, listen to this. Here is an inspirational quote for you. Respect is the key determinant of high performance leadership. How much people respect you determines how well they perform. Okay, children, let us learn to respect each and everyone and every living creatures of this ecosystem. Give respect, take respect, and hence end up having a happiest life. Okay children, here is a very special topic for you. Today's session, that is structure and mechanism of functioning of ear. You have studied that auditory receptors are present in the ear. Yes, the process of hearing is possible with the help of the sense organ ear. Do you know what is the other function done by this ear? Yes, ear helps us to maintain the balance of the body. The two important functions done by ear, first one is that help us to hear, and second one is that help us to maintain the balance of the body. Yes, let us see the different parts of the ear. Basically, there are three important parts. First one is external ear, and the second one is middle ear, and the third one is internal ear. Here you can see external ear also consists of different parts. Middle ear also, then internal ear also. In order to understand clearly, you can see the separate diagram of external ear, middle ear and internal ear. Then what are the parts we can see in the external ear? See, externally one particular portion we can see is that is pinna. This part is known as the pinna. Then that continues to a tube-like structure. Yes, that is known as auditory canal or ear canal. So this particular portion is known as the pinna, and this portion is known as the auditory canal or ear canal. Pinna collects the sound waves towards the auditory canal or ear canal. Inside this ear canal or auditory canal, we can see wax and hairs. They are present to prevent the entry of dirt towards the ear. Then this end, ear canal and auditory canal, ends in a membranous structure. That portion is known as the eardrum. The other term of eardrum is tympanum. What is it? That is known as tympanum. Tympanum or eardrum. Okay, children. Then what about the second part of the ear? Yes, that is middle ear. Middle ear consists of, particularly this portion is known as the middle ear. You can see this part is known as the middle ear. It consists of some bones, especially the smallest bone which is present in the human body, that is present in the ear. Actually here in this particular place, middle ear. So that bones are known as ear ossicles. This ossicles, the word related to bones. So here you can see ear ossicles. They are otherwise known as ear bones. They are three in number. They are named malleus, incus and stapes. So this stapes is the smallest bone. Okay children. Then they are otherwise known as ear ossicles. While talking about eardrum or tympanum, it is a thin membranous structure. We all heard we should not use sharp instruments to avoid the wax. Why? Because that spoils the eardrum. That ultimately causes hearing problem. Then in the middle ear, these are the bones which are present in the middle ear. They are malleus, incus and stapes. Here you can see there is another structure that is known as the Eustachean tube. This Eustachean tube connected to the pharynx, nasopharynx. Do you know which portion is pharynx? Pharynx is the junction where, or it is the place where the trachea as well as esophagus begins. So what is trachea? That is known as windpipe. And what is esophagus? That is food pipe. So this is Eustachean tube. This is known as the Eustachean tube that connects to the pharynx or nasopharynx. Whenever we have throat infection, etc., that time we feel some difficulty in the ear. It is because of the presence of Eustachean tube. Yes, whenever we have ear problem, throat problem and nose problem in the nose, etc., we should consult a specialist doctor. That is, they are specialized in this. They are known as ENT specialist. Ear, nose, throat. These three are connected. Then because of the presence of this Eustachean tube, the throat problem may cause the problem in the ear, nose, etc. This is the reason Eustachean tube, presence of the Eustachean tube. Actually, it connects to the pharynx. Okay. Then, what is the function of this Eustachean tube? This particular part means Eustachean tube maintains the pressure present outside and inside of the tympanum or eardrum. This portion is known as the tympanum or eardrum. Then when we travel in high range area, we feel some difficulty with our ear. Yes, because the Eustachean tube found difficult to maintain that pressure. If we talk in between or we just open and close the mouth, we can solve that problem. Okay, then next to middle ear is internal ear. Internal ear consists of the following parts. They are, first one, you can see there are 3 canals. 1, 2, 3. That canal, that they are known as semicircular canal. They are known as semicircular canal. Then here you can see another part that is known as vestibule. Here you can see there is a coiled structure. That structure is known as cochlea. Yes, at the beginning we studied the 2 important functions done by ear. They are, one is the process of hearing and the second one is maintain the equilibrium of the body. See children, here semicircular canal and vestibule, these 2 important parts responsible to maintain the equilibrium of the body, while this cochlea helps to hear. Okay, when see this diagram, means diagram of the cochlea, resembles any other thing? Can you compare the shape, this shape with anything else? Of course, yes, we can compare or it resembles the shape of the shell of a snail. Snail is one of the cute living creature found in the ecosystem. So cochlea is the important part that helps for hearing. See, actually this portion is known as the internal ear. So that this is that part, internal ear. So here you can see one nerve arises from the vestibule region. From here one nerve arises. That is known as vestibular nerve. Because impulses are, whenever the impulses are generated, that should be carried to the cerebellum. That is done by vestibular nerve. Then here also you can see near to the or in the cochlea you can see the auditory nerve. This particular portion is known as the auditory nerve. So Once impulses are generated and these are carried to the cerebrum, then only we hear. So these are the parts of internal ear. So basically the three important parts of ear are external ear, middle ear and internal ear. External ear consists of pinna, ear canal, otherwise known as auditory canal, eardrum, otherwise known as tympanum or tympanic membrane. The next, middle ear. This particular portion is known as the middle ear. That consists of malleus, incus and stapes. So they are known as ear ossicles. Ear ossicles are otherwise known as ear bones. Okay. Next to the middle ear is the internal ear. Internal ear consists of three important parts. They are semicircular canals, vestibule and cochlea. The other parts we can see inside the internal ear are, one is vestibular nerve and auditory nerve. Yes, we can see a membrane near to the stapes and internal ear. So that membrane is known as oval window. That is known as oval window. Then if you understood very clearly about the all parts of the ear, we can move to the process of hearing. Okay children? Yes, we can study the process of hearing. Yes, how the process of hearing possible? Or at least tell me which part of this internal ear helps for hearing. I know that you all are smart enough to say the answer. Yes, this cochlea, particular portion, this cochlea helps us to hear. Cochlea of the internal ear help us to hear. Then the receptors, auditory receptors named as hair cells. The hair cells are known as the auditory receptors. They are present inside the cochlea. Okay children, see, while talking about the internal ear, they are present inside labyrinth. So what is labyrinth? This internal ear is present inside a labyrinth. Do you know what is the meaning of the word labyrinth? Yes, based on Greek mythology, labyrinth means complex puzzles. What do you mean by complex puzzles? Yes, we used to play games like the structures, maze, like this puzzles. So that is the meaning of the word labyrinth. Okay, leave it. Then here, they are present, internal ear is present in the skull inside the bony labyrinth. The term is bony labyrinth. Then, inner to the bony labyrinth, one more membrane is present. So that is known as membranous labyrinth. Membranous labyrinth. So internal ear, this internal ear is present in the labyrinth. This labyrinth are two types. First one is the bony labyrinth, that is present outside. Then inside we can see the membranous labyrinth. Listen, there are two types of fluid present in this labyrinth. Here you can see there is a space. So this space, the fluid which is present between bony labyrinth and membranous labyrinth, that fluid is known as perilymph. And the fluid present inside the membranous labyrinth, that fluid is known as endolymph. Listen carefully. Once again I will say it is somewhat complicated portion or complicated part. See, these are the internal ear. It consists of semicircular canal, vestibule and cochlea. How are they present? Where are they present? They are present in the innermost region, but they are present inside the labyrinth. Means they are present inside the cavities. So they are made up of bones. They are known as bony labyrinth, that is present outside. Inside we can see membranous labyrinth. Okay. Then in between bony labyrinth and membranous labyrinth there is a fluid present. That fluid is known as the perilymph. And inside the membranous labyrinth there is a fluid present known as endolymph. From your examination point of view, you can expect a question: differentiate between perilymph and endolymph of the internal ear. Okay children. And then how the process of hearing possible. Then what about the structure of the cochlea? If we completed the structure of the cochlea, then only you will be able to understand the process of hearing. Look here. The structure of the cochlea is coiled. When we uncoil it, we will have a structure like this. When we uncoil it, we will have a structure like this. Yes, in the structure we can see there are 3 chambers. So this is the upper chamber, this is the middle chamber and this is the lower chamber. There are 3 chambers when we uncoil the cochlea, or cochlea consists of 3 chambers. They are upper chamber, middle chamber and lower chamber. And here you can see in between middle chamber and lower chamber there is a membrane. That membrane is known as basilar membrane. What is it called? That membrane is known as basilar membrane. Okay. In the basilar membrane there are hair cells present. Means I have told hair cells are known as the auditory receptors. Hair cells are known as the auditory receptors. Listen once again. There are 3 chambers in the cochlea. They are upper chamber, then there is middle chamber present and lower chamber present. Between the middle chamber and lower chamber, basilar membrane consists of hair cells. These hair cells are known as auditory receptors. Then one more term we should study, that is basilar membrane and hair cells together known as organococci. Organococci. Yes, I am very sure children, all the terminology confused you. So take time and study the terms. When you study the terms, write and study. Otherwise, more chance to forget. So all of you, I'll explain once again all these terms. Then you can avoid all kinds of confusions. Listen, when we uncoil the cochlea, there are 3 layers, or we can say there are 3 chambers present inside the cochlea. They are upper chamber, middle chamber and lower chamber. Between the middle chamber and lower chamber, the basilar membrane consists of hair cells. Hair cells are actually the auditory receptors. Auditory receptors. Then basilar membrane and hair cells together known as organococci. So please remember what is organococci. Organococci means basilar membrane and hair cells which are present inside the cochlea. Then while talking about this auditory receptors, you please remember what about the photoreceptors? Yes, they are present in the eye. They are stimulated in the presence of light. Photo, the word photo means light. They are stimulated in the presence of light, photoreceptors. There are two types, rod cells and cone cells. Then here auditory receptors. Auditory receptors, the receptors are stimulated in the presence of sound. Okay, so hair cells are known as the auditory receptors. Okay, children. Then if you understood all these parts very clearly, then we can move to the process of hearing. Okay. Sound waves are collected by the pinna. Yes, once the sound waves are collected by the pinna, they move through the ear canal or auditory canal. Then that vibration causes the movement of the tympanum. This tympanic membrane moves or vibrates. That vibration causes the amplification as well as the transmission of that vibration through the middle ear to the internal ear. Or you can say very simply, the vibration of the eardrum causes the vibration of the ear ossicles or ear bones. Yes, that leads the vibration of, here there is a membrane present that is known as actually oval window that vibrates. That vibration, oval window, vibration of the oval window causes the vibration of the endolymph which is present inside the cochlea. Once this endolymph vibrated, we know hair cells are present inside the cochlea. Yes, they get stimulated. Once hair cells stimulated, auditory receptors stimulated, impulses are generated. That is carried by the auditory nerve that carry that vibrations or messages to the cerebrum. Messages to the cerebrum. Thus, hearing is effected. It is very simple. The process of hearing is very simple. But what is the difficulty based on this particular topic? Yes, to remember the name of the parts of ear. So once again, I will explain how the process is taking place. Listen carefully. Sound waves collected by the pinna. It moves through the ear canal. That leads to the vibration of the eardrum. That causes the vibration of the middle ear, especially the ear ossicles or ear ossicles. That vibration transmitted to the oval window. Then it gives that vibrations to the endolymph. Endolymph is vibrated. Thus, organ of Corti, hair cells which are present in the organ of Corti are stimulated. Impulses are generated. Impulses carried by the auditory nerve. Auditory nerve carried these impulses to the cerebrum. Thus, the process hearing is effective. Okay, that's all about this particular topic. Thank you, children. Thank you for watching this video.